guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's video where I'm going to be doing my first impressions on the latest from Natasha Denona. She just recently released her newest collection, which is called the Love Story collection, and she released an eyeshadow palette, a cheek palette, as well as some lip glosses. Now, the only thing I didn't pick up were the lip glosses. I felt like I had to put a stop somewhere, but I definitely had to have both of the palettes. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of all of this, I do want to ask you to consider subscribing to my channel. I do like to post as often as I possibly can, but I do not have a set schedule. So if you subscribe, you will not miss out on any of my videos. So let's start off with the eyeshadow palette. Now, she did it again, which I think a lot of us prefer it this way, where she releases this 15 pan eyeshadow palette, but for a much affordable price because the pans are smaller. I, for one, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with me, love that she's doing this instead because I have so many eyeshadow palettes and I'm not complaining, but I do have a lot where it's pretty much impossible for me to get through any eyeshadow. So I love the concept of this. Now, when I first saw a picture of this palette, I mean, look at it, guys. When I first saw a picture of this, I knew I had to have it. Yes, these are shades that I have in my collection if I were to pull out all of my palettes and really dig through them. I'm sure a lot of these are dupeable. For me, there's just a value with having everything in one palette like this. I would use any and every single eyeshadow in here whenever, and I think she did a great job with the whole Valentine theme that she was aiming for with her collection. The shades in here are marvelous. Let me just go ahead and insert a close-up of this palette so you guys can really see the beauty of it. It is full of pink and mauve shades along with some beautiful purples. We also get a mixture of textures in here. So she has her matte finishes, there's some metallic finishes, as well as a few duochrome. From right to left, I'm gonna read off their names along with the description and the type of finish they have. So the first eyeshadow we have is actually called First, and it is a peachy beige with a creamy matte finish, Lifetime, warm gold with a shimmer finish, Heartbeat, deep maroon with a creamy matte finish, Transparent, bronze champagne with a metallic finish, Trust, deep plum with a creamy matte finish, Heart, rich red with a creamy matte finish, Giving, coral with a pink duochrome finish, Pure Love, warm plum with blue reflex and a duochrome finish, Commitment, burgundy brown with a creamy matte finish, Blind, silver with a metallic finish, Soul, deep dusty rose with a creamy matte finish, Passion, deep burgundy with a shimmer finish, Intense, peachy pink with a creamy matte finish, Valentine, rose pink with a creamy matte finish, Dream, amethyst with a metallic finish. So of course I am already wearing this palette. I'm wearing 11 out of the 15 shades in here. So I really just wanted to make sure that I used and kind of experimented with as many of the shades in here as possible to see if there are any duds. And let me tell you guys, so far there are none. Now, the only one I did experience fallout with was Commitment, but I believe that's more because of the type of brush that I used, and because it is a stiffer brush, it did kind of create some fallout. But other than that, I had absolutely no issues with these eyeshadows. They blended like a dream. They work just like any other Natasha Denona palette. If you have one, you pretty much then know what to expect with this one. This shade Blind in here, right here, is ridiculously metallic-y. You're gonna see in the video because I had originally applied it all over my lid and it was a little bit too much for what I was going for today, so I had to tone it down a little bit. This red shade actually applied like a true red should apply on the lid. I did have to kind of go back and layer on some more, but that was more because there was a lot of blending going on around it. So I really wanted to make sure I wasn't losing some of that pigment. So I did go in a few times to add some more of that one. This Pure Love shade is gorgeous, but I will say that this is definitely a dupeable shade in my collection. I probably have about 4 palettes that have this same shade, except that this one's a little bit more intense than the other ones that I have. But still, if I were to build up the ones I already own, I'll definitely be able to kind of build it up to this. Nonetheless, it is an extremely beautiful color, and I really just don't mind having a shadow like that in a lot of my palettes. This shade Intense right here was so pretty, very pinky-like. You're gonna see all of this in the demo. And then Soul right here, I love this type of shade. Really, really beautiful. I also really fell in love with, like, what other finger do I have that's available? Heartbeats, is that what it's called? Yeah. This is gorgeous. It looks like, I don't have it up here. Ooh, do I? Let's see. All right, the shade Heartbeat reminds me a lot of, these swatch horribly, by the way. As far as the matte eyeshadows, don't really go based on the swatches because it's gonna be crappy. Heartbeat reminds me so much of this lipstick from Lisa Aldridge. It's in Velvet Decade. It's just so gorgeous. Obviously, it's a lot more pigmented. I mean, I did kind of go back and forth with that eyeshadow, but I'm for sure gonna have to do a monochromatic look with those two. In the back, you see all these little holes. You can just stick a little pin in there if you want to pop out some of these shades. And just like her other palettes, she has a really sizable mirror, very sturdy packaging. I really love this. Now, the Love Glow Cheek Palette. So first of all, the packaging of this, it's cute. It's just not necessarily my style. I love the size of her cheek palettes that she's come out with. This is the 3rd one that she has. Very compact, really beautiful. Inside, you also get a really nice mirror. And then you get 4 products in here. So this is a blush and highlighting palette. You get a cream product, which is this one up here. That one is called the Glow Cream Base. Then you get this Super Glow right here, which I'm not quite sure how to describe the texture of that, but it is a little creamy, like just more on the thicker side. And then we get these 2 shades down here, Diamond Powder, and then we've got the Glow Impact Powder. So this is the straight up highlighter. I did swatch these, so let's go ahead and insert the swatches of that. So again, going from right to left, the first shade is Glow Cream Base. It is a rosy red with a metallic finish. Then we have Super Glow, a peachy pink with gold reflex with a duochrome finish. Diamond Powder, hot pink with rose gold reflex and a duochrome finish. Glow Impact Powder is a cool champagne with a metallic finish. So now overall with this palette, I think it is beautiful. The glitter doesn't look as bad because I did end up pressing it in with my Blendiful. It's somewhere here. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. But I did end up pressing it in with my Blendiful. And now that I've given the products time to just kind of work with my skin and my natural oils, I think it looks a lot better, but it's still really not something I'm going to be using. But these I probably will end up using together again because I overall do like how this looks. Also, I hadn't realized that this had like a metallic-y finish, so I was a little thrown off when I first applied it, but now it makes sense and it looks beautiful anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a demo so you guys can see how I use these products. So to start off, I'm going to pick up this shade right here. It's called Intense, and I'm using my Sephora Pro Crease number 10 brush. Now apply this right over the crease. We're going to use this as the transition shade. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So this is a really nice like true pink shade. And I only picked up a little bit, but I really like the color it's giving off here. So just kind of doing windshield wiping motions. Picking up Soul with that same brush. I'm going to start building up the intensity, and I'm going to apply this straight into the crease here. And then start going inwards. And then doing short circular motions, I'm taking this up a bit. I definitely have to use the red from this eyeshadow. It's this one right here called Heart. And I'm going to pick that up with my Worker 1 brush from Sorneji. I'm just going to start just kind of tapping it in place here in the outer portion of my lid. And then I'll start blending. Doing this kind of swiping back and forth motion. So I'm using a brush that's a little smaller, just blending these edges here. I don't want to end up taking it too far, so that's why a smaller brush I think will help with that. Now with my Smith 256, I'm going to go into this blind shade. And I'm going to apply this on the rest of my lid here. Wow, that is intense. You know what, I think I want to intensify that red a little bit more, so going back into Heart, just in the same spot here, picked up a lot there. I'm tapping it in place and then doing this little wiggle motion. Now I'm going to go in with Heartbeat. We're going to go back into the crease. I'm using my Blender Pro brush. This is also from Sonia G. I'm just placing this here above the red shade to start adding some depth. We're going to go back to the lid. The lid is definitely not going to stay like this. Something about the shade I really love. Now I'm going to pick up this Valentine shade right here. And I'm going to use this here in this inner portion above, what shade was that? Blind? Because we've got to blend these edges here. And this is going to add some color, but not too much. Just, I feel like it's just right. Alright, so I just wiped off my Smith 256 brush, and I think I want to go into Pure Love. And I'm going to overlap Soul and Heart. I'm sorry, I meant to say Blind. Soul was the first shade I used. Wow, that looks really pretty. I don't really like the intensity of Blind there right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up the other duochrome shade, this one right here, which is called Giving. And just very so slightly go over Blind. Okay, I think that looks really good. So I definitely have to blend out these edges here. So I'm going to go back with my clean brush, which I guess at this point isn't as clean, but I'm not going to add any product to this. This is, by the way, this is the Luxie 231 brush. And I'm just going to blend these edges. So I'm just going to do like these circular motions. I'm going to go back to that red shade and just tap this outer corner again. I didn't add any more product here. I just want to just add a little bit right there. Felt like we lost a little bit of that with all the overlapping eyeshadows we started applying. So now with my Sonia G Builder 1 brush, I'm going to pick up this bottom shade down here, and this one's called Dream. I'm going to lay it flat and then just start pretty much blending it in. Now with the Pencil Pro brush, I'm going to pick up Soul. So I'm pretty much going to just layer this bottom lash line. So because I pretty much went over this blind shade, I'm going to pick up a little bit more with another pencil brush. And I'm going to apply this in the inner corner of my eyes. And now I'm picking up First, and we're going to use this to clean up and brighten the brow bone a little. So I was going to use a liquid eyeliner, but instead I think I'm just going to go into Commitment here and line my top lash line and then a portion of the bottom lash line as well. I've had very minimal fallout, so I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible with this last eyeshadow I'm about to use. Okay, I don't know why I picked up that brush. That was like the dumbest brush for me to have chosen. Let's see. I'm going to try it with this one. I think this is actually a brow brush. It's the MAC 208. Okay, so that did give me a little bit of fallout. But I am using a more dense brush, so you will have to be careful with that. I have to turn off this light. So actually for the bottom lash line, I'm just gonna use a Trust right here, just because it's not as deep and it'll give us another shade to semi-test out. I mean, when you're just using it as eyeliner, it's not quite the same. This eye look came out so pretty. I love this. Love it. It's so like romantic looking. Oh, it's so cute. Now let's get into this really cute cheek palette. It's not something I typically enjoy, but it's actually pretty. So I think first, because it's gonna make more sense, I'm gonna go into the cream base here. So it's this one right here. Swatching it, it didn't really seem like it has that much pigment to it, like that much actual color. So I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna look. But you know what? I think I'm gonna use my Blendable for this. So probably just for the cream shade though. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dip in here and then, oh, okay. No, it definitely has pigment. Oh, you know what? There's a mirror in here. I'm like the worst at using mirrors that come in my packaging. Okay. Let me turn this over because I don't need more product. I'm just going to work with what I've already placed on. And I also didn't mean to put it so high. It's like I forgot this is more of a blush. But this is, wow, that is really pretty. I'm not quite sure why I put it up that high. I should have put it more like on the apples of my cheek and back. I apply this as if it were a cream highlighter. But you know what? There are no rules to makeup, so, and I'm just, you know, I'm just kind of playing with this today, trying to figure these things out. That is a really beautiful shade though. Just whatever's left on my sponge, I'm gonna go over here a little bit. This one as just a blush to apply even on its own, I think it's really pretty. I mean, I picked a really random place to apply that right now. Let me go ahead and pick up a little bit more. And I am going to bring it down and apply it as actual blush. Yeah, that's really nice. It is very, I want to say it's like even a little pearly on me. I wonder if it has anything to do with my base, but it looks really pretty. From here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and apply the highlighter. So I'm gonna apply the Glow Impact powder down here, and I'm using my Wayne Goss number 2 brush. Yep, that is beautiful. Whatever's left over, I like to go over my forehead. I kind of feel like I have to keep going in here though to grab more. For some reason, I'm not satisfied with what it originally picks up. But once I do that a few times, I really like how intense I can get it. I think it's a sophisticated metallic-y highlighter. This is as blinding as I can get while still being able to call a highlighter sophisticated. It looks a little peachy, but it looks really pretty. I think if you have like a deeper skin tone or maybe in the summertime, I think once I self-tan, I think this shade will look even better. So I am a little like hesitant with these other shades just because this one right here, it is a different formula than what I'm used to. So I'm going to use this brush here. This is the Smashbox Cream Cheek brush. Pick a little bit of that up and then kind of apply this like in the higher portion of the apple of my cheek here. Wow, that's different. I don't know, do I like that? I don't think I like all of these colors mixed. Honestly, I think if I'm gonna pull this out, I'll use the highlighter and one of these 2 blushes. My skin though looks like it's super dewy on my cheeks, like super dewy. Going back with the Blendable here. And I always do like to add some on the bridge of my nose and on the sides here as well. Now this diamond powder. It's a very beautiful shade, don't get me wrong. But for the face, I don't know how, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy that. So, I mean, I know I don't like glitter on my face. So that's why I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like this very much. Yeah. Yeah, so this is, hopefully you guys can see that, pure like glitter. Just trying to kind of tap some in with my finger here. Yeah, this is definitely not my thing. All right, yeah, so I definitely don't like this for the face. These two are really pretty, but I think I'm just gonna use one or the other. I don't find the need to layer these on. But again, who knows, maybe in the summertime when I do have more of a tan. And then the highlighter, I really like it. I love the formula of these highlighters. This one I did feel like I had to build it up a little bit, but it's really pressed into the pan, so it could just be because of that. Sometimes once you kind of get past that first layer, you're able to pick up a little bit more product, because just yesterday actually I used the Bloom one. This highlighter in here is so gorgeous. Also, that kind of blinding intense highlighter, but the type that I really like. And I had no issues with just one layer of that. So I'm sure this is gonna get to that point as well. I just had to use it up a little bit more, but I love it. Overall, this palette is really pretty, but it just really sucks that for the price, I'm really only able to use 3 out of the 4. Alright guys, that's it as far as my first impressions on Natasha Denona's Love Story collection. Let me know if you picked up any of these products or if you're looking to pick any of them up. I would love to know. Do share in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. And while you're there, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.